Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
They haven't got it! He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly, Miller's still such up. He's not a second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's gonna do it! Big Barry!
Good evening and welcome back to round 8 of the PCUP Challenge live from Silverstone. This is the America Series. I'm James Parfitt, going to be joined in the booth by Mr. Dean Biggles this evening as well. And we're going to start this evening a little bit different. We're going to bring Michael McLeod in to the booth straight away. Michael, good evening to you, sir. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm very well, thank you very much. Very well indeed. Now, you've jumped into the booth with us. We've got some updated news on next season. Why don't you let us know what the situation will be?
I guess some exciting news of just a few things that we're going to make changes on next season. Well, very slight, small changes, and I can't wait for next season. I can't wait for this season to end, and I don't know, I just look forward to every race, really. Anyways, so one cool change next season is any pro driver, we've confirmed this with the admin team so far, any pro driver who has 0 laps that are within that 1% of the race fast lap, as we do have that tracked in our standings, anyone who has 0 throughout the season with 9 races attended, will give them the opportunity to race in the amateur division again. So it can really spice up, back up that amateur division and bring someone who may not have been in pro, maybe in that borderline, bring them back down and give them maybe another breath at life in that way, you know?
All right, okay, so that's an interesting one then. So tell us, how's that going to work in the race, in the actual format itself? Because are we still keeping the same 15-minute, 30-minute race format?
Absolutely. So we're going to still keep that same format. And just as this season and past seasons, you're qualifying. If you're in the top 35%, you're in the pro division. So the person could get bumped back up into the pro division if they do qualify within that group. So it's another chance at seeing maybe do they fit back in the amateur division, because we do sort everyone strictly by pace rather than iRating or finishing position. And so it's just one little extra bit that we want to add to really hopefully put some life, a little bit more life really, because there's lots of life in that amateur division.
Okay, so they get a second go at it if they're into pros and they end up not doing so well, they drop back down into AMs again?
Exactly that. There's some drivers that maybe they had the pace for that one race to get into the pro division, but maybe not the pace to stick with it. And so it gives an opportunity to see maybe they do belong in the amateur division. And it may sound a little bit confusing, but our hopes are it just gives a little bit of flexibility in people moving around based on the changing fields that we also get every season.
Yeah, because we've had quite a lot of drivers, haven't we, come and get involved in, obviously, the racing itself and obviously the league itself. You know, we've got a register of like over 100 and something drivers. So for them to have the opportunity to obviously race in the AMs once more and then obviously come down back into the pros if it doesn't quite work out, that's not a bad shout at all, to be fair. Any other wonderful changes that we're looking forward to?
One other change that we're talking about, not fully confirmed quite yet, but what we're looking at is something perhaps any driver who reaches 10 penalty points with our penalty system is going to have championship points removed. It could be 20, 25 championship points removed for hitting 10 penalty points. When they after 3 clean races, you have 4 penalty points removed from your score. And if it brings it back below 10 penalty points, you'll have those championship points returned to you. So it gives an encouragement to the drivers to change their behavior. We've always looked at our penalty system as an educational tool primarily rather than a disciplinary tool. And so it's just if we can really sort this out and figure this out, it's really an extension of that.
Right, okay, so they've got another chance to get rid of some of the penalty points if it don't quite work out. If they're having a bit of a bad evening of racing, then obviously that gives them the opportunity the following week to get rid of some penalty points there as well. Okay, so that's cool. Anything else? Because we just entered into qualifying, young sir, and I believe you're on the track at the moment.
I actually am, yeah. I'm just doing my outlap right now, and I think that would be my cue to take off and start driving away and let you guys do your thing.
I don't know, James. I mean, we did it last week. If Michael wants to give us a hot lap around here, that's I think that's up to you, James, if you want to do that, and up to you, of course, Michael.
No, maybe not this week. Distraction number one. I really want to try and focus, see where I end up, and this track is absolutely deadly for the off tracks, and you have to be very specific about how you brake and turn in, and it's funny. Braking a little bit earlier, turning in a little bit earlier is going to gain you like easily half a second over the course of a lap. So
we'll let you focus then and try to bring this around Silverstone as quickly as possible, mate. So good luck then.
Thank you, and have fun watching our race.
Will do. Cheers, Michael, for joining us there as well. You've heard the voice of Biggles, who's going to jump in to the booth now and come and join me. Good evening to you, sir. How are you?
Good, mate. Back in your neck of the woods here in Silverstone, of course, the birthplace of Formula One, pretty much the birthplace of motor racing. Didn't this used to be called the Mutton Grand Prix back in the day? A couple of blokes near the track, of course, used to be a World War II airfield. Just basically just to spin a couple of cars around, and I think it was called the Mutton. They made a little mutton race together because they ran over a lamb or something like that. I believe on the track. I think, or
I was going to say,
not quite sure if it was. Did it? Was it?
Mutton is
mutton.
a fabulous term over in the UK that people seem to insist on using for certain. They called it dressed up as mutton, which obviously is basically
mutton dressed as lamb, right?
Mutton dressed as lamb,
dressed as mutton,
dressed as lamb, and it's sort of stuck there, unfortunately, as well. So welcome in if you are here. Thank you very much for joining us. We are at the iconic Silverstone circuit here in the UK, of course, one of the most world-renowned circuits ever. And one that everybody will know, recognise, sometimes love, sometimes not, depending on how you are as a driver, whether or not you love this circuit. I don't mind this circuit as a driver, to be honest. Not that I drive very often. But
have you been here before, James, in person?
I have. Yes, I have. It's
keep an eye on Ayden Young real quick, mate, too, because he's about to be on his flying lap. And, of course, Ayden Young was the man that got us introduced here to the league. So see how the young American does. But yeah, go ahead. So you said you have?
Yeah, Ayden supplies all the photos for the thumbnails as well. So big shout out to him. You can find his link down in the description below. I was here not so long ago, actually. Well, maybe a little bit longer now, 6 months ago or so, up at Silverstone as well. I've been here before when I wasn't commentating or doing anything media based. I was here as well, just sitting down watching some GT3s at the time, a very long time ago. Back when I was.
Is that back when they were horse and carts, James? Or?
Yeah, well, we just discovered electricity, and fuel was a byproduct, and the horses were running in front of the cars, and they were picking up the horse mess and sticking it in the engine to have biofuel. It was that long ago, should we say? So so I have been here.
You've never seen an F1 GP here at all? Never?
No, I've never been. I looked into that this year, and it was only till I saw what the price band was. I kind of nearly fell over.
Mate,
they wanted nearly £800 per person for the weekend. Now, of course, in my house, when there's 4 of us going up, you're looking at £3,200 for a weekend of motorsport.
And that's not including where you got to stay, of course, because you're going to have to stay somewhere, mate, unless you're going to be camping out.
Unless you're going to be camping, of course.
Yeah.
And then food.
That's just a general admission, which is, I just have to say, that food, general admission, of course, which I have to say probably is best on most of these tracks like this. Some of them you can't do that.
No.
Mate, Las Vegas is like 8K. So, I mean,
yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's just ridiculous, yeah.
It's ridiculous amounts of money that the track earns from the weekend. I think there was a quote out of Spa that basically the tickets in Spa were cheaper than Las Vegas. And Las Vegas was earning something like £28 million for the weekend, if not more. And Spa was only earning something along the lines of 16 to 18 million pound for their weekend of motor racing. And I dread to think...
Isn't that unfortunate, the reason why they were looking at, say, getting rid of like Spa and stuff like that and replacing them with more of these tracks? Because, of course, it's all about money, man. And it's a sport business. Well, we're talking about Formula 1, of course, but it is a business built around money. And now with these drivers now becoming celebrity superstars, they got bodyguards and stuff like that now, generally. Lewis has always had one, but some of the other ones have, because they're literally turning into absolutely ginormous superstars that they never were before. So
exactly,
that's just the way the business is going. But the way the qualifying is going, we have the Ferrara up on top of there. So that's our Brazilian driver, Xander Reed, of course, leading the championship, slots up into P2, and this is the Pro Class.
Yeah, Xander Reed, Mikey Howanick, of course, Michael McLeod, Ayden Young. We do have the results currently on the board as well, all ready to go. We will bring you up them after Heat 1. Within that brief little warm-up session that we have, we will bring you up the grid currently as well. Michael McLeod that in 4th place, leading, sitting in the Pro Division. And then Carl Ribbin is currently leading the AMs. So Ribbin there, not too far behind, mind you, but is doing an absolutely stellar job as we go into the last 47 seconds of qualifying. 204.316 for Ribbon, and the leading pros on a 202.238. So it's going to be close here as well. And we've got 22 cars on the track, I believe, ready to go for what plans to be an epic evening of racing. Don't forget, we've got Heat 1 at 15 minutes. Then we got a feature of 30 minutes as well with a top 8 reverse. So that's going to spice things up here this evening as well. And we see Michael McLeod just sat chilling out on track for now. Adam Morrow is another man that's on the circuit. No real improvement from him. Unfortunately, runs wide down in Stowe. That's not going to help his lap whatsoever. Young Choi, another man on track as well, and Young Choi 204.611. So there we go.
Just to confirm too, James, because I always sometimes get a little bit confused on this one. We'll get those results up first, and then we'll talk about that in a second.
The grid is up on your screen. Bernardo Ferraya in first, Xander Reed second, Michael McLeod third, Mikey Howanick fourth, Ayden Young fifth, Samuel Sproul sixth, Michael Carrillo seventh, Adam Schmidt eighth, Ariel Julian ninth, Carl Ribbon 10th, the leading hand, Dan Morera 11th, Young Choi is down in 12th place. Then beyond that, we've got Adam Morrow 13th, Sean Mulholland 14th, Gary Watson 15th, Matthew Wyckoff 16th, Alex Witt 17th, Jonathan Deckisher 18th, Anthony Robertson 19th, Jeffrey Seabrook 20th, and Tyler Anderson is currently 21st there as well. Right, off you go, Biggles.
James, I was just going to say real quick here, this is the regular Formula 1 track, so it's not like the GT3s and stuff like that where you pit garages separately, right, or Formula 2. As you can see, the start-finishing line is coming out of club, where they should be located. If we can confirm that one for you, James, and the regular just looks like the regular. The rest of it's all it's Formula 1, but just with Porsches.
Yeah, it is off the normal circuit here as well. They do obviously have the legacy circuit in iRacing as well, where the start-finish line is in a different position coming out of Woodcote and going down into Copse. But we are running the full GP circuit here as well, so they will go off down into Abbey to start off the lap here. We're just waiting for Michael Howanick, Ariel Julian, Alex Witt and Tyler Anderson to get on track as we have a look around the pole man. Bernardo Ferraya's car.
I love it. Yeah, the Red Dragon. See if he's going to be breathing some fire down all the other cars here this evening. Those puns are coming, James. We're getting warmed up, of course, this Brazilian driver.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting
to see. Xander Reed, be careful going. We all know what's going to happen, don't we? Into the run, James. Find out. Blackout presents Porsche Cup Americas.
Lights are on. 4 lights, 5 lights. And we are green here once more again. There was a big spin up further down by Michael Carrillo. And Xander Reed has jumped Bernardo Ferreira as they go into turn 1, into Abbey on that run round farm. And then they're going to be coming up to the arena section here right now. And Bernardo Ferreira is currently in the inside lane. He will have that run first. He's going to push out Xander Reed. Xander Reed's going to come and look back. Matthew Wyckoff looks like he's had a spin further back as well. Adam Schmidt has also gone round. Adam there off the side of the track, but it is Xander Reed, Bernardo Ferraro fighting tooth and nail as they go down into Brooklands.
Yeah, so it's all about bogging down at the start, isn't it? Remember, you got no traction control, no assists and all that sort of jazz. It's just pure man and versus machine. And it's all about getting those launch starts. And look at that, coming back at the moment too is the Brazilian right next to Xander Reed. Is he going to stick it up the inside there, James? They're both lifting and coasting on this one. It looked like it, but they're not. They're absolutely gas paddling this one. Good racing. Nobody wants to yield that P1 for now. While we're on lap 1.
Yeah,
That's that lap. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So it looks like we've had Watson, Deckershire and Wyckoff all off track. There was a little touch from Xander Reed on Bernardo Ferreira. Ferreira's going off track currently and running off there. Not going to be best in pleased, I don't believe, about that. That little tap on Bernardo Ferreira there as well. And unfortunately for him, did run off a little bit wide. That is Samuel Sproul is now in front of him as well. Ayden Young, Michael McLeod and Xander Reed. Wyckoff's into the pits, of course. Wyckoff had a little bit of a drama. Adam Schmidt went round, don't forget, here as well. So Schmidt has dropped down the order, currently sitting down in 16th place as we go round into Stowe here for the heat race of 15 minutes. And it is Xander Reed, Michael McLeod and Ayden Young. Samuel Sproul there from the Blackout Motorsport. Oof, that was close.
Speaking of Michael McLeod at the moment, that might be under a massive pressure out there, as Michael David, of course, one of our commentators here at JPB, says exactly what happened. Why is Mikey so far down? He's P17 for the earlier spin. We'll get a replay of that one hopefully in a little bit. James will sort that one out, find out what exactly happened to Mikey.
Yeah, Mikey Howanick on the inside, of course. There he goes. Round goes Howanick. Yeah, he gets connected by Schmidt, and that's how they ended up coming together. So that's why Mikey Howanick is so far down. And the battle up front is between Ayden Young, Michael McLeod and Bernardo Ferreira. Of course, Ferreira got a little tap from Reed, sent him wide, and unfortunately he's now trying to recover through. The interesting thing about this, and I was looking at this earlier on, is Xander Reed has got like a 7 KI rating, right? This gentleman up front, this young man, he's like, I don't know, 14 or 13 or something. Younger, well, he was younger than me and you. But then again, most people in this game are younger than me and you.
I think he's like double his age and it still wouldn't be close to us, but yeah.
Mate, he's not even as old as my eldest kid, so you know what I mean? But yeah, he's only got a B licence, which I find quite ironic, considering I thought he would have had an A Pro or whatever they do now in iRacing. They go to Pro after a certain period of time. If they manage to hold 5K, I believe that you can apply for a Pro licence. There we go. Yeah, apparently so.
Remember, Ferrara is in at 8.8K, mate. He's just a monster. 8.8K. That's up to the very top tiers that you're ever going to find anybody in iRacing.
Yeah, I'm considerably about 7,500 less than him. But you know, hey,
I'm even less than that, James. I've never done a lap around iRacing in my life.
That's why we're up in the booth here, Biggles, you see. They don't put us into the car because they know how dangerous we could be. That's why we just commentate and run leagues and let everybody do everything for us. However, I might have to pick up the Renault Clio because I did like that car. It's a good little car to drive. It's like a little, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Roller skate on wheels, I think they call it. So,
well, we got a couple of drivers that have entered in pit road. So Adam Schmidt, he was also involved in an early incident there as well with Mikey. Tyler Anderson's gone in, Alex Witt has gone in, but I think they haven't even started the race.
No, James. Tyler Anderson I don't think started, neither did Alex Witt here. I'm not sure if they're going to turn out for race 2. Ferrari has cleared Michael McLeod and is now trying to chase down Ayden Young. So it looks like Jeffrey Seabrook has had an incident as well. Howanick has jumped to the pits. Adam Schmidt has jumped to the pits after another off-track there for Schmidt and Howanick. So unfortunately for Howanick, he looks like he's stuck. So Bernardo Ferreira is now chasing down Ayden Young. He's just about to try and go up the inside. He is going to make this work round Brooklands. Here goes Ferreira up into second place. and then he's going to cover him off round Luffield before they go on that run round Woodcote. A little bit of interesting fact while we're here at Woodcote Corner. My home address in London was in Woodcote Avenue, named after that corner on Silverstone Circuit. So there we go.
Was it really? Okay.
Yeah.
That is very interesting. And you can see at the moment that Bernardo wants to chase back down that and resume that battle that we had on lap 1 up against Sander Reed. And biggest gainers as well, too. Young Chow, the Canadian driver, the 8 machine, and it's getting 5 positions currently up at P7. So it's not too bad. As well, I'd have to say it's a great day for Canada because you also have Jonathan and as well as Anthony in P13 and 14 also gained 5 positions for the Canadian drivers.
Yeah.
Oh, Canada.
Deckershire did look like they got themselves caught up in a little bit of a ta-ta-ta, should we say, at the beginning. But they are managing to hold on here. Samuel Sproul tucked up behind Michael McLeod again in lap 3. They're not going to get many laps in. 2 minutes a lap, 15 minutes, 7 laps maybe, 7, 8 laps, I think, before the end of the timer. And then obviously in the 30 minutes feature, they will get 15, around about 15, 16 laps. Adam Morrow, Carl Ribbon have just swapped places as well. But then again, it's Pro and Ams on that one. So Ribbing is the Am trying to chase down Morera here, Biggles. And as they come round Club.
Yep, very expensive if you can get tickets to that location. Of course. Of course. Good sub racing at the moment. Still Jonathan in P13 on the back there of Sean. So the Canada versus the USA battles are still brewing up as well on the track. Michael McLeod, unfortunately, was the only one that dropped 1 place, but still in a solid P4, possibly looking for a podium. Here we go. Jonathan going to stand it up the inside there, backs off a little bit wisely. Oversteer, snaps it. Remember, no traction control on all those gizmos on this, mate. Just once again. You got to handle the Porsche like it's a beast. You got to tame it well. You're at the top of the timesheets where Xander Reed is.
Yeah, it's kind of you got to be gentle and at the same time be aggressive, which might not sound like it makes any sense whatsoever, because even after I said it, I kind of realised it probably doesn't make sense. But
it's just like saying the glass is half full and half empty.
Yeah, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? You know what I mean? It's one of them situations here. But I think if anybody's even tried to drive the Porsche, you do have to be aggressively careful, because obviously you want to get it settled, you want to get it broken, you want to get it sit down on the track ready to go into the corner, but at the same time you've got to get on the gas. So you know, it's a very difficult situation. And Morera in the AMs here, Carrillo in the pros, and then behind that we've got Adam Morrow chasing him down as well, another pro, the man from Canada here as well. So it's quite interesting when you look at the track map against other track maps for corner names. We have this discussion every week, I think. Oh, is he going to go?
Oh,
there's a
he's up in the background.
Spinner in the background as well. That's Jonathan Deckershire.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm starting to curse these poor Canadians right now by saying something a little bit early, so I might zip it on that. But we'll see whether or not Adam. Okay, he's surrounded by Costa Rican drivers, 2 of them, Michael Corello and Dan Moreno. That's quite interesting. You don't see too many Costa Rican drivers on the grid, and I love to see it once again, James. They're the closest to me, geography-wise. Just I have to just drive about 6-7 hours, and I'll be on the Costa Rican border. Nice.
It's not bad though, is it, really, when you could just think, I've only got to drive up the road and I'm in a different country. Mind you, 6-7 hours is a long old way, so...
Yeah, it's like half a UK you could cover in that time.
Mate, I did actually. I drove from where I was down in the south up to past Manchester in that period of time. It took me about 6.5 hours to get up to a go-kart circuit I was on. And it 6.5 hours it took me to get up there. Michael McLeod.
Mind you, your road's a little bit better than trying to climb up the mountains to go to San Jose. That's the capital of Costa Rica, of course, right up on top, high elevation, kind of like Mexico City.
The only thing is, they're not very interesting roads around here. When you jump on the motorway, they're just really quite like, and you're just going up, and it's not very interesting until you hit traffic.
You don't have crocodiles and toucans and sloths and all that sort of stuff that'll jump out on the side of the road at you when you're traveling up through Costa Rica. Of course, has one of the most amount of natural wildlife, I believe, anywhere in the world. So definitely pay it a visit if you can, and it's very cheap as well too to travel there.
Yeah, young Choi coming through Maggers and Beckett's chasing down Ariel Julian in front. This is the battle for 6th and 7th on the exit now, coming out of Chapel to that run down the Hanger Straight, of course, here this evening. for this PCUP Challenge. Live from Silverstone on the JPB YouTube channel with myself, James Parfitt, and Dean Biggles in the booth, and Michael Carrillo on track for 4D Raceware. Battling up, this is going to be a nice tidy little freeway as they head down through Vale and coming into the club chicane at the end here, hard on the braking zone. They've got to turn left, then they've got to keep it to the right hand side and look up trying to get on the power out if they can. And now for this run round club across the start finish line and down through Abbey once more as they go across with 4.5 minutes remaining.
Yep, and they're going to continue this one and as a fantastic run. Don't forget about our other fantastic pit lane reporter, of course, aka commentator Michael David out there in the background as well too. There, Mikey.
No, Mikey, no, that's not right. Yeah. Sorry, couldn't resist.
We always do it, don't we?
Yeah, Michael Carrillo having a good old time trying to chase down young Choi, of course. Choi in his traditional pink livery.
You can't miss him.
No, with Michael Carrillo behind him. So it looks like it's going to be very much a line astern at the moment as they go down now. And unfortunately,
yeah,
no real movement.
This is not a bad position to be. How much do you want to fight with a reverse 8 coming up for a feature race too, remember?
Well, it's gonna,
you do want to get a position on that one. I was about to say maybe the nose was going to do a police maneuver on that one, but it just backed off a little bit. Yeah, you kind of think, you're either sitting in a pole position here right now for the feature race. Would Michael Carrera, of course, you want to get points, but at this point, these two cars up the road, sit back, maybe wait for them to make a mistake, seize the opportunity and be on pole for the next race? I don't know. What would go through your mind?
I think he's doing the right thing. He's looking at what Julien and Choi are doing as they're going through Maggers and Beckett's. Oh, back out, because it could have gone all wrong. He's doing the right thing currently. He's sitting back just assessing what the situation was. And as you say, he is on pole for the next race. But I don't know if I'd want the fast people coming behind me.
Yeah, well, also James too, Samuel Sproul, Michael McLeod passed to Ayden Young. So Ayden Young's had a little bit of off-track moment there, unfortunately he's back in the position that he started this race. But continue these pictures right now, see whether they're not. Well, we got the replays, we'll get all that one back. What's happened? Yeah, Ayden Young must have gone off somewhere because he's dropped 2 places. No, that's got to be a lift-off, doesn't it? That has to be a slowdown.
There has to be there. Michael Carrillo did pass young Choi. I'm sorry about that. Just as I cut to the replay, he made the move on the inside, so my bad on that one. And that answers your question about whether or not he wants to stay in 8th place for the feature pole. Clearly not.
No, now we'll go to young Charles.
Now Julien has got Michael Carrillo tucked up right behind him now. So it's one let off for kind of Carrillo, and then another one comes along, and in front of that is Ariel Julien. So I don't know if young Choi would want to stay where he is. So young Choi's grown so much over the last few seasons, says Michael. He's already fast, but man, he has just continued to improve. Hey there, watching something else. That isn't F3s, Alex. No, Alex, it's not. F3s are tomorrow, on Saturday, mind you. Ooh.
He's trying to turn the steering wheel around. The car's just not agreeing with Mr. Young. And he's just gingerly pressing that gas pedal there and hoping it doesn't slip around there. I'd have to say at this point now, James, with TikTok on the clock, might have to settle for a nice potential pole position going into the next first gridded race.
Here's the final lap of the race, of course. No, there is a freeze on Saturday that Biggles and Zach are doing. And then, of course, you got the IGP on Sunday with myself and Ewan O'Leary. So you have got F3s coming tomorrow and Sunday, Alex. What more could you ask for?
Dan Moreno got past Carl Ribbing, I believe. Yes, he did. So he's made his way up to P10 for the other Costa Rican driver. Just snucking up there. Job done, I'd have to say, as you said on the... Is this the last lap? Are they going to be crossing another lap right now? Number 1's coming around. Zenna Reed in a second.
Oh, you get one more. One more lap to go.
You get one more. There it is.
Yeah, just he's on 30 seconds to go. Oh, Bernardo Ferrari, they're making use of the off-tracks on the outside. Right, so it's interesting with Carl Ribbon. He passed down Moreira, and then Moreira passed Carl Ribbon. So they have been swapping backwards and forwards here. So this looks like it could get nice and little tidy as they go round and through club and down the start-finish straight once more.
Well, this is Porsche Cup in the classic of classic tracks.
Yeah.
Longer track, as you'd mentioned there, 2 minutes and change there is the times that they'll be sitting around here. That's a Formula 1 car. I don't even remember what a Formula 1 car does it in there. Maybe Michael will be able to clarify that one. Find out later on this year as well.
Don't they go around like 119? This is July they're here, aren't they? They're like 119 or something.
Yeah, when you head back to all the European tracks, because we got Miami this weekend, which may be a snooze fest or not. Who knows?
If it's anything like NASCAR at Chicago's, it's Chicago on July, beginning of July, the first weekend in July. It could be an absolutely terrible race. Julien and Carrillo are nice and tucked up right beside him, coming through Laffield, going through Woodcote now, and down into Copse. Can Julien hold on, or is he going to decide to take the pole in race 2? Don't think he's going to. I want to try and get. Can we get Julien's helmet? That's the mask.
Oh, it is the mask.
Yeah.
It's I gotta come up with this. Haven't seen the movie in a while. Like some of the references he says in the movie there. Jim Carrey, of course.
No, it is quite funny.
Somebody stop me, maybe.
Yep.
And that was the one. Yeah.
And isn't it where he goes, sexy.
Yeah.
While he puts the mask on.
Jim Carrey is a Canadian as well.
Here we go round now for the final corner.
Yeah, Reed's got to be all comfortable, cool on this one, and says bingo. Another one that bites the dust for everybody else. For the Texan driver, gets it done. A man that's about 1/3, 1/4, 1/8 of the age of you and me.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what the conversation is between him and Farrier after, with the fact that obviously there was contact that unfortunately set Farrier off the track, of course. So Dan Morale just coming across the line as well. Drivers. Carl Ribbon and Sean
Mulholland. Messing with Chicago, man. Michael's from that neck of the woods.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be, I don't know. It could be.
Michael, you going there?
Could be the UK's Monaco, unfortunately.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Michael can give us some commentating live from the trackside there, maybe on JPB.
Yeah, I just can't. Kicks. I know Michael is. Oh, somebody's smoking, that's one. About Chicago, you know you love that track. No, I do not. It is a terrible circuit. It is 2 squares joined by a line in the middle. It's awful. It's not very interesting, Biggles. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. However, I do know one man is going there, and Michael knows him as well. A young Mr. Ryan O'Connor lives out in Chicago, and he is going there. So
Ryan is. All right.
Yeah, Ryan O'Connor will be. So Heat 1 here now is the results. Xander Reed is in first, Bernardo Farrier in second, Michael McLeod third, Samuel Sproul fourth, Ayden Young fifth, Ariel Julien sixth, Michael Carrillo seventh, Young Choi eighth, Adam Morrow is in ninth. Now we go into the arms of Morera in 10th, Carl Rabin 11th, Sean Mulholland is 12th, so that's 1, 2, 3 of your AMs. Andy Robinson 13th, Jonathan Deckisher 14th, Gary Watson 15th, Jeffrey Seabrook 17th, 16th, Matthew Wyckoff 17th, Adam Schmidt, of course, had a little bit of an incident down in 18th place there. Mikey Howenix and Alex Witter, Tyler Anderson did not start here this evening as well. So while we've got a little bit of break in the action, we've got 1 minute 10. We'll bring you up really quickly the championship standings as they currently are. Xander Reed is in first, Michael McLeod, Samuel Sproul and Ayden Young are your top 4. Charlie Puya in 5th, Mikey Howenix 6th, Schmidt 7th, Jeremy Littleton 8th, Adam Morrow 9th, Colby Warren is in 10th place. Now we'll do the top 10 because we don't have very long left currently at the moment, and in the AMs at the moment, Dan Morera is on top with Jonathan Deckish second, Carl Ribbon third, Rob Rodriguez, Charles Edward, Sean Mulholland, Matthew Wyckoff, Gary Watson, Anthony Robinson and Hayden Bush is your top 10 in the AMs. So there we go. Last 30 seconds. O'Connor would be interesting to see in this field. Yeah, he very much would be. So, but we will, I'm sure, see how he gets on over the weekend. So it's going to be an interesting one here as well. 20 seconds remaining, Biggles, before we go into the feature race.
It's going to get very, very spicy in both those championships, the pros and the AMs, of course, because we are around 8, so we're deep into the season here. Xander Reed is getting to a point where, you know, if somebody doesn't stop him soon, then that's it. One hand on the trophy. He's got it. It's going to be that battle that's brewing in P2, P3, P4, P5 and all that too in the pro class. Of course, in the AM class, that trophy's still up for grabs as well. Trophies are up for grabs everywhere, but just the way that consistently Xander Reed is just being on the podium is going to be something that's very, very difficult. Everybody else needs to find a way to dethrone him at this point. Young man.
How do you stop him? That's going to be the question. Here is...
Go faster.
Yeah, this is also true. Here is the grid here. Just bear with. I'm not quite sure why it's decided to do something I didn't want it to do. Young Choi is in first, Michael Carrillo second, Ariel Julian third, Ayden Young fourth, Samuel Sproul fifth, Michael McLeod sixth, Bernardo Faria seventh, Xander Reed eighth, Adam Morrow is in ninth, Dan Morera is 10th. In the arms there, leading arm, Carl Ribbon, Sean Mulholland is behind him. And then we go on behind that, Anthony Robinson, Jonathan Deckisher, Gary Watson, Jeffrey Seabrook, Matthew Wyckoff, Adam Schmidt, Mikey Howanick, Alex Witt if he gets onto the grid, and Tyler Anderson, of course, both if they come onto the grid, will be in the final B positions. There we go.
Well, turn one. We've seen it before. So, well, Mr. Shaw, you elected that you're going to sit for a P8. Go ahead, James. We'll start the feature race.
Yeah, all lights are off. Young Choi has not made the start. So it is Michael Carrillo, Aries Julian and Samuel Sproul are your 1, 2, 3 here on the left-hand side. Bernardo Ferreira making a move through. Ayden Young trying to go from where he was on the grid in 5th place up into 1st in the matter of corners here. Absolutely flying. Currently now sitting in 2nd. Is Michael Carrillo going to block him off? He is going to take that inside line, but Ayden Young's going to have the inside as they come round the loop, of course. And then now that is Ayden Young in 2nd place with Michael McLeod, Samuel Sproul there trying to also go past Michael Carrillo, unfortunately, as well. Bernardo Faria has taken a very wide line, comes back on track. Xander Reed is going to make a move past Michael McLeod and Adam Morrow. It's all going off in his first lap here as we start heading down through Brooklyn.
Look at Xander Reed. Look at Xander Reed. He's already up 4 positions. Right tucked up on the back there of Samuel for the Blackout, of course, for our sponsors here, for the Blackout Motorsports New Zealand team. And Ayden Young's got to have to put some serious pressure there on RL Julian that made those positions there as well. So you've got Xander Reed behind you. You've got to try to keep him behind you, of course. And remember, it's very important there from Samuel and Ayden and Ariel in the championships that are behind Xander Reed. So giving it everything they got, trying to keep him behind. I think Anthony was one of the only ones who had a little bit of a moment at the start of this race for the feature race there, James. But so far, so good.
Yeah, Andy Robinson did look like he went off track, dropped down 10 seconds behind. Sean Mulholland, Tyler Anderson, Alex Wick, Young Choi and Mikey Howanick did not take the start here. Oh, it was a big lock-up from Ariel Julian. And he is going down the order now. He's dropping all the way down into 7th place at the moment for Ariel Julian with Bernardo Faria behind him, of course. There's another load of changes as well. Down Morera past I would say past Jonathan Deckisher, but then Deckisher got past, and then Morera got past him again, and then Deckisher got past him again. So the current situation is Deckisher is ahead of Morera behind her here as well. But Samuel Sproul has got Xander Reed tucked up right behind him for company.
He's got to do something about this. Samuel, of course, is fighting for his championship hopes. Xander Reed's just trying to do what Xander Reed does best, is to put this thing into the top position, or at least onto a podium. He's already got a podium at this point, and how much of a fight is this going to be? Not too much, I'd have to say. Samuel says, all right, you go on, my friend. You can go down and catch one of my closest rivals in this championship, which is Ayden Young, who's leading this race.
Yeah, Young Choi is out on the grid. Did you see him then at the front? There's Young Choi at the base of the screen. So he must have started late or started from the pit lane. Adam Schmidt is also battling away with Matthew Wyckoff here. It's going to be Schmidt on the inside line as they go into Brooklands now. Schmidt goes through and takes that position away from Wyckoff. Back up front, Dan Morera in the mix in 8th place with Jonathan Deckisher, the leading arms, of course, in front of him currently at the moment as well. They're heading round down through Woodcote and down into Cops once more. And once again here for the 30-minute feature race from Silverstone. We're on lap 2, and it is currently Young, Reed, Sproul, McLeod, Faria and Morrow with Deckisher down in 7th place.
I wonder how long Ayden can hold off Xander Reed. Now, they've been some great battles between them. We're going to keep an eye on whether or not Bernardo can make his way up. He's in P5 at the moment, but he's got a bit of traffic to get through, but he's got time on his side. And there's an off-track excursion. I think that was
Young Choi.
Young Cho.
Yeah.
Young Choi? Oh, no.
Unfortunately, not only did he start late, he's now, unfortunately, all the way down the order behind Sean Mulholland as well. So Choi not having a good race here. Schmidt is, however, battling away with Moreira and Ribbing. Ribbon is behind it in the green car. Moreira just a little bit, 2 seconds up the road. Oh, another big puff of smoke there as well. But yeah, it's all kicking off at the front with Samuel Sproul, Michael McLeod, Xander Reed and Ayden Young. And Bernardo Faria behind that, of course, there in the 87 car.
Now, McLeod and Samuel are very, very evenly on pace between these two drivers. They're, 4.4K. We were talking about iRacing, but if you see these two drivers, gladiators this season, mate, they'll go for it too for now. They have a lot of fun between the Commonwealth countries here, Commonwealth drivers. So, of course, with Michael McLeod, we just heard for the boss man. But don't you worry about that. Samuel doesn't matter if there's a boss man in town or not. He's going to fight for tooth and nail for the Queenslander Kiwi. I believe he's living currently at the moment in Australia. That was confirmed before, but New Zealander.
Yeah. I think it was said last week, wasn't it? As they come round now through Luffield once more. Into Woodcote they go. We're going to see how these guys go on once more.
Keep an eye on that Brazilian in the background too, mate, because he's slowly creeping him in there.
I'll tell you what.
Almost like having Ayrton Senna in your rear view mirrors. You don't want to have a Brazilian driver behind you. They're always notoriously quick, aren't they, in motor racing?
Apart from that, I don't know. Bruno,
you just because you're British, you're just like, you're not going to accept that fact, are you?
I love it. I love Ayrton Senna. And it was Bruno Senna that made me laugh because he come into Formula One with like fireworks, the nephew of Ayrton, and he's going to do great things. And
Ferrara has got him as well too. Sorry, James. So as we're watching this battle, of course, we'll go back to that in a second. But here we go. Young's going to have to hold off Mr. Reed, but I don't know if he can. Reed's going to set up the inside. That mate Ferrari will be perfect. Spotting the apex, goes out on the racing line. Job done.
Yeah, Xander Reed there as well. Ayden Young is trying to come back in the club chicane. Not too sure he's going to try and get that line. Reed's tightened it up. Young has got the better run out. If he can just keep on that gas a little bit longer. He can't this time around. Bernardo Ferrara is now chasing down Samuel Sproul. He cleared Michael McLeod. Moreira's been taking a little bit of an excursion off track and has unfortunately now dropped all the way down into 16th place as Moreira. So unfortunately for him, he's dropped down the order, but it's now down on Ayden Young. Whether or not he's going to be able to stay with the young man that is Xander Reed, it doesn't look like he is. Unfortunately, he's about half a second back already, and it's only been about 5 corners since he lost that position, of course. But Michael Carrillo and Jonathan Deckershire are having a nice little tidy battle here. Deckershire in the 139, Morrow in the 568, with Carrillo tucked up right behind him at the moment as they go running down through into Brooklands here with 23 minutes remaining.
See if they can do anything about it. Going back to that little reference before, it's a hit and miss, isn't it? The nephew, of course, of Ayrton Senna didn't perform really in the Formula One. We got Michael Schumacher's son. I have to get back to you on that one. A little bit of contact, a little bit of argy-bargy, but still putting the right direction. Of course, yeah. You got sons, and we've also had Ralph Schumacher, remember, in Formula One, the brother of Michael. But then you go, okay, so lately probably haven't been performing as well as they had. But then you go, Max Verstappen, yes, he has. His father outperformed his father, and you've also had Damon Hill, remember, previously, that outperformed. Well, I don't know who was better in the Hill family on that one. But either way,
that's the only interesting thing about it. Graham Hill and Damon Hill are the only 2 consistent family members that both won championships, right?
True, you're right, actually.
Yeah, Michael Schumacher did it. Son hasn't. Bruno Senna hasn't. Ayrton Senna did. So it looks like at the moment in the current world we're living in, as we can see here with Jonathan Deckershire trying to go up the inside of Morrow, on board with Carrillo, going round Stowe now and down into Vale. They're looking at trying to possibly go 3 wide here. Are they going to be able to do this? They're not. Deckershire's out in the current lead of this battle. Morrow's just about to get dived up the inside by Carrillo as well. Carrillo takes no prisoners, and it is Michael Carrillo is through Oh, he takes off the nose of Morrow, says, you're not coming back at me, son. I'm having this position here down into Abbey. Turns around, says, nope, thank you very much. You're going to be sitting behind me. I'm going to get on my way now and then catch up with Jonathan Dekischer. Enjoy yourself back there, Mr. Morrow, says Carrillo, as he flies off now round into loop. There we go.
Shut the door, Lily. Not getting burgled tonight. Somebody got burgled.
Yeah,
by the way.
No, he took him off. Oh, Young Choi went off track again as unfortunately jumped to the pitch. Young Choi has not had a good evening of racing here this evening.
Yeah, he was earlier, remember? Obviously battling it out for that P8 position and ultimately would have earned him that, earn him that top pole position for this race, but something happen there, couldn't technically load in time or whatever, and unfortunately since that, it's all gone pole-shaped.
Michael McLeod now battling away with Samuel Sprout. Sprout's on the outside. McLeod's taking that inside line. He's going to have that run through there as well. Bit of an unusual line by Samuel Sprout. Never really seen him make that kind of a mistake where he left that door wide open, unfortunately for him. He's now lost every part of his house. If you're going to do that, mate, you are going to get burgled and robbed on that one. Adam Morrow here still chasing down Carrillo. Open up a bit of a gap over Schmidt. Schmidt trying to come through as well. Mulholland looks like he's just taking a little bit of an excursion off track as they're coming through Maggots and Beckett's lap 5. 20 minutes remaining here at Silverstone. How is this one going to work out, Biggles? What do you reckon? Is Xander Reed just too quick already?
I think he looks too quick at the moment. Young's going to put everything he possibly can on that one. It's whether Mr. Ayden Young can hold off the Flying Brazilian a little bit further down the road will be the key to secure that P2. But you're talking about being burgled, mate. Well, Samuel, if he's obviously from New Zealand, living in New Zealand, what are you going to get burgled by? Hobbits? Not going to happen.
Sheep.
Sheep?
I don't know. They got more sheep than they got human beings in New Zealand.
They do have more sheep than I mean, I think you are living in like a sheep farm nearby you too, mate. You keep quoting about that one.
Oh, mate, I got sheep everywhere.
Yeah.
There's just too many sheep around.
You're going to get burgled by a sheep, basically, in your neighborhood if you leave your door open.
Hey, maybe. If I get hold of that sheep, though, I'm going to be having lamb for dinner. I'll tell you that much. Right, Adam.
Yep, all right. Sunday roasted from James's house. And maybe another food cast in the making in the future if he does get hold of that sheep. But let's get hold of what's happening in the motor races as well, too, before we get James too hungry.
I've already eaten before I come on air here as well. But Adam Schmidt still battling away quite nicely. Round the loop they go and off down into Brooklands once more. This is a battle for 8th and 9th here in the current standings, of course. So let's see how they get on once more and then see how this one works out and whether or not they're going to be able to hold it off. Can Morrow hold off Schmidt and chase up to Carrillo at the same time? I don't know if he's got the pace to go forward here for Morrow. Fortunately, it looks like Dekischer's breaking out down the road as well. He's trying to open up a bit of a gap over Carrillo. But unfortunately for him, Carrillo's not giving up and is now battling right up behind him at the moment. They've opened up a 1.6 second gap, the pros, over Morrow in 8th place. So it looks like they may be safe from Morrow, but Dekischer here is not safe from Carrillo.
And remember what Michael had mentioned earlier at the top of the show, so if you didn't listen to that, go back and listen to about some of those interesting changes, of course, coming here to the Porsche Cup Series. About the AM Classic, switching a rule to Pro Classing, depending on your performance and that. But here we go. See about the possibilities here between the AM class drivers. Around the outside is always fun, James. If you can make it stick.
He's going to have the inside line for the club chicane, mind you.
Yeah. Yep, that's exactly right. That's where you can make it stick around there. You will then get back into the corner, but then you got to make sure you stick it and slow it down, remember, because you're coming out of the final club corner here on the power. You're going to run quite wide. I'm just used to, obviously, in Formula 1 too wide, and that one you'll be invalidating a lap, but they allow a little more flexibility. And then, of course, you can remount the challenge, and just behind them, of course, we have a few other drivers starting to come into play.
Yeah, battle here for 6th and 7th place, Michael Carrillo and Jonathan Dekischer. Dekischer in the red, white and black. Carrillo in that purple-blue mix there, more of a pearl-lucent colour. And then further down the order, we've got Ariel Julien as well. He is trying to chase down Matthew Wyckoff. He's just about to go up. No, maybe, possibly, don't know. Could he? Yes, he has. Ariel Julien has made the move past Matthew Wyckoff here and is now currently in front, sitting in 11th and 12th place. But Michael Carrillo, Jonathan Dekischer is your closest battle on track currently at the moment.
Good to see what is happening as well. Young's dropping back a little bit because Xander Reed's still putting in 203s, 203 flat, almost in that last lap. Just a blisteringly quick time. Most of the drivers are doing an average of about 204s, 205s in the midfield. As you'd expect with the different classes. Michael Carrillo riding on board with right now for the... Trying to read that one backwards. That's the 129 machine. Yes, it is. Sticker there on the front windscreen.
And they've just gone through Mackett's and Beckett's and then going down the hangar straight once more. Here on lap 7, 15 minutes remaining, and so we're going to get about 15 laps in. And this is the closest battle. Farrier has slowly moved up to Ayden Young. There is Ayden Young, there is Farrier behind him. So Farrier has closed him down currently at the moment here, Biggles. He's got to try and obviously make that move a little bit closer to him.
That's why I was a little bit worried about Ayden Young, because I know he's got to try to hold him up as much as possible. He was putting in some great laps, but you got a difference of 8.8k versus 5.1. And if you remember, I remember Ayden Young a lot less of his iRating back in the day, about 3 or so. He's really improved and is improving. Another young gun and talent to look out for, obviously, apart from Xander Reed. So, but the problem is he's got to try to hold off the hot superstar there of the Brazilian. The Brazilian's always trying to think whether or not he has enough time to catch Xander Reed. Saw those two. We would like to see those two battling again, didn't we? Like we saw in the first heat race. But so it's going to be up to Ayden Young. He is fiercely forwarding his way. He doesn't have his teammate here this evening like he had before in the last week. But he's going to be... Patience is difficult, isn't it? Not mirror driving so much and getting your head up there. And what is that little puppy dog on the side of that car looking like? Jeffrey Seabook? Oh, Jeffrey.
Looks like he's had a bit of a problem or is having a problem. No real reason why he would have crashed here. Anthony Robinson has also taken a diver off the circuit. Not sure what he's been up to. Anthony Robinson, just goes,
so lock up.
Well in too deep there, unfortunately, in that Logitech machine. But Dekischer, Schmidt and Carrillo still fighting it out in the midfield here. Dekischer, the arm in the middle. He's like the arm between the pro sandwich. And Adam Schmidt is trying to make his way back through, of course, after Schmidt's first race didn't go so well. But he's currently up 10 places here and absolutely flying. It looks like Jonathan Dekischer is going to be place number 11. He's going to try and run him around the outside of Stowe here. Is Schmidt going to be able to hold this in that machine? He's going to be sitting there quite nervously. He doesn't. He's now got to didn't get the inside line. Dekischer covered him off. Coming down into the chicane now of Club at the bottom there. Round the Club chicane they go. And Adam Schmidt cannot make that move currently at the moment. Ayden Young, no. Fernando Farrier right up behind him, Biggles.
He's got to hold off. I want to see Ayden hold off here. I want to see him just drive the absolute tires off this car. Now, of course, a little bit of tire wear might be creeping in some of these drivers. You can see the rear end slips a little bit there. He's trying to get on the gas pedal. He knows he's got the Brazilian behind him in his mirrors, but hopefully he has a spotter. His father really gets behind him too, James, in this motor racing. Really supports his lad, Ayden Young, who's fiercely making his way forward, of course, on the iRacing. But how much can he hold up? That's the thing.
Well,
he's just got to deliver this. He's got to park it all the right places, and he's going to say, well, Bernardo, if you want to get around me, my friend, I'm going to make it as hard as possible here in Silverstone.
Yeah, it definitely is. Ayden Young. It is good when the family supports the driver, of course. We got another one in the BSC, Terry Spainhour, gets widely supported by his parents, grandparents, his brother, his sister, his wife. Everybody comes in YouTube chat supporting him as well. It gives a nice feeling. It makes the drivers actually feel like they're doing something kind of, I want to say worthwhile, but not in probably the context that it's probably going to get taken there. But something, different. It's outside of the box. It's home driving. There's a lot involved in this, and there's a lot of kit and rig and steering wheel and bases and force feedback and all the other wonderful jazz that goes with it. Seabrook has entered into the pits there. Deckish has lost a place tomorrow. He's now got Carl Ribbon 3.5 seconds behind him in the AMS. But Reed is still out in front here. But it's just good to have that family support network, I think, while you're doing something like this.
Yeah, and on top of that, James, you got to remember that Ayden's still a young bloke, so he's got essentially almost a career with him. Like apart from all the other career and studies and stuff like that you want to do school wise, you got the esports world that's massively popular. So if he makes his way up to more and more through esports, and that essentially itself is another career that you could be thinking about in the future. And maybe his father's also right on top of that and said, look, mate, nope. Not quite. She's going to have to hold off. He has to just get on the loud pedal here. There's going to be a bit of pressure, of course, but this is a part of your career rise to the top, my friend, if you are pursuing this. Once again, I think his father's definitely alongside supporting him, and you never know what's going to happen in the future. We'll be casting this man winning multi-million-dollar prizes in esports. Who knows? Still early days.
No, he is only early. But I'm just looking at his Twitter profile here. It does only say that he's 13 years of age.
There you go, my friend. That's what I'm saying.
Farrier
Xander Reed.
He's going to try.
He's coming back, bud. He's not giving up. Fighting spirit. Like to see it.
Yeah, Ayden Young on the inside. He's going to be able to hold that line. He can come across and take the nose off Farrier if he wants to. He has done. Farrier's now going all the way around him at the moment. They did briefly swap positions, and now they're back as they were. And it is Ayden Young once more on track coming through Maggots and Beckett's. It's going to be a tough one here for Ayden Young. He's going to be under pressure from Bernardo Farrier once more, and it seems like the young guns of the PCUP taking it here as well, making us old men up in the booth feel very, 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 very old. So there you go.
Well, James, you jump in a real car. We'll see how they handle it. They can reach the pedals. Sorry,
maybe. Oh, Farrier's trying to go. No, didn't. I thought Farrier was going to go. Wyckoff's been off track. Take a little bit of excursions there as well. Matthew Wyckoff. So I'm sure he will be down in 12th place. But Ayden Young and Bernardo Farrier putting on a great show.
How about
here.
the pressure, James? How are you sweating it out right now? Now, this is he's a young man, all right, but he drives. He gets a couple of chances to drive all the time. He's told me he can't drive every single day, every single minute of the day, because you still have your life, school, and all that sort of jazz that's going on. So, good thing about family respecting that as well too, so you don't spend 24/7 on a racing sim. How much pressure would be going through the young man's head right now, trying to hold this to P2 position?
Oh, insurmountable, I would have thought. The only difference is how the young man handles the pressure is probably completely different to a man in his 20s, 30s, or 40s. He's probably nice and chilled out and just like, meh, okay, let's do this. He's behind me now, let me have a go. Whereas older generations might be sweating and having a panic. He's left the door wide open for Bernardo Farrier. Yeah.
Is it for a switchback? I'm not quite sure if that would be the wisest switchbacks there, but...
he did try it, but Farrier's held him off. Going around Luffield and Woodcote, and unfortunately there was just no way back for Ayden Young. That was a very bizarre move to be trying here with only 8 minutes remaining. They're going, you're going to have 4 laps here. You've either got to try and get a hold of Bernardo Farrier now, but yeah, very not sure on that one. Can't really answer that question if he tried to switch back on him or not, but you wouldn't be in the lead and then leave the door that wide open, unfortunately, I don't think either. So from Ayden Young's point of view, I'm not quite sure what
Adam's gone off somewhere, James. Adam Marrero, the 568 machine. He's dropped a place. Now, what's happened here? The dogs are getting excited in the neighbourhood at the moment too, James, so I do apologise if you're hearing some barking there. Barking, unfortunately,
Turn 1.
because of the gas machine.
Yeah, off it goes. Morrow drops down the order into 10th place, loses a place to Ribbon and Dekisha there as well for Adam Morrow. So unfortunately for him, he drops down the order. We're still focusing on this young battle here, but also down further on, Ariel Julien is now up behind Adam Morrow. Let's see how he handles Julien coming behind him. It looked like it was just a little bit of overzealous, should we say, going down into turn 1.
Time will tell. Remember Ariel Julien, that was right up the top here before, mate, and a little bit of a moment at the start of the race, and just slide on by. Thank you very much, he says.
Yeah, sweeps around the outside line from Julian there. Ariel Julian goes around the outside, job done for him. Dan Morera is battling away here with Matthew Wyckoff. See how these guys get on. Both of these are AMs. Morera's going to try and go up the inside. No, I don't know. I don't know if that was the right move there. I think he might have just slotted in behind him and took his line. Unless he's going to set him up for something here. He's going to try and dive him, but again, you're going to be slow on the exit. So you kind of just wanted to slot in and kind of follow Wyckoff's line there. This is your closest battle. Barrier has just gone out to over a second over Ayden Young currently at the moment as well. So unfortunately that battle settled down. So we are Morera and Wyckoff here down on lap 12 with 5 minutes remaining.
Two for now battling. Yeah, it was an interesting line going into that. Just scrubbed a ton of speed. Wonder if it's punishing because of the tyres, how they treated it. See the different racing line there. Really gets on the apex there. A little bit of a puff of smoke there as they went off the track and just I'll go completely off the track there at the moment, just hugging the apron down the F2 straight.
Yeah, once more. 5:25 on the clock. Wyckoff got a slow exit. Morera made the use of that, said thank you very much going in through Maggots and Beckett's. The job done for him. On the Beckett's now. Round the right-hander coming into Chapel. And then down the hanger straight once more. Morera has cleared right off. I'm wondering if Wyckoff had a slowdown there. And unfortunately has had to drop all the way down the order. And currently, well, as you see on the left-hand side, the cars are very, very spread out between each other. At least a 1 to 2 second gap. And you can see it on the track map on the top side of your circuit, on the top right-hand corner here. I know it looks like Farrier is nice and close to Ayden Young. Well, Young's behind him, McLeod's behind that, and Sproul's behind that. They're all 1.5 seconds to nearly 2 seconds apart currently. So a little bit of gapping returning, and obviously Xander Reed out in front with 10 seconds on the clock here, Biggles.
Now it's just a matter of just keeping the car, within the lines of the track there, just trying to do your absolute best as quick as you can, but not pushing a little bit too much because you're coming to the end of the life of this race. You don't want to be in a situation because nobody's that close, as you can see on the track there, that you have to be pushing for an overtake. It's just a matter of nursing the car home, nursing the Porsche there, and see, okay, these are the results we're going to have to be having to be dished out here today. That's fine to take it as it is. But once again, concentration levels. You cannot afford right now to make any mistakes this crucial into the race, because all of a sudden, whatever you are, you'll be facing the wrong direction and going through a drive-through with James later on, get some McDonald's, I'm not quite sure.
Oh, stop it.
You've already eaten, so you're fine.
Yeah.
I'm hungry now after you're talking about one of the drivers in the Costa Rican sandwich. I want to make a sandwich now, James.
I did have something other than a McDonald's tonight, though.
Oh.
I did. I had a nice big...
honestly, we got to get sponsored by McDonald's some point in the
Yeah,
future.
McDonald's need to sponsor us. I did get a nice big kebab earlier on. Done meat and chips with loads of mayonnaise.
I haven't had kebab since probably since I was in Europe, James. Don't tease me like that. They're not that popular here in Latin America, but there are some. Very popular in the UK.
I was going to say something there, but I didn't want to seem very, I can't think of even the word I'm looking for, but obviously over here we got obviously a Turkish contingency that set up kebab shops and stuff like that.
Yeah, the best ones, mate. We have them in Australia too. I love them. You get them outside of nightclubs and stuff like that. You got to have a kebab at 2 a.m. in the morning when you come out of a pub. Now, I don't encourage everybody to go drinking in pubs and stuff like that, but I encourage if you want to get up at 2 in the morning and get a kebab, that's the best time to get one.
Yeah, coming out of the nightclub and you're like, oh, I want a kebab. Yeah,
absolutely.
Trust me, that kebab is not going to agree with you in the morning.
Mate, they were in Romania as well too. I was there, like many other places in Europe too, Australia. Not so much as a big thing in the States.
And then you move to Panama where there's nothing.
Yeah, true. I know.
Yeah.
It is what it is, but I am in the jungle, my friend. In the city, they do have a little bit more. It's Xander Reed, mate, up down the road once again. The man's probably wondering, hey, is there anybody else on the track around me? Look at him. He's going through Beckett's Maggots Chapel right now. Can't see anybody ahead. Can't see anybody behind. Must be used to this, isn't it, the young man from Texas?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, but I think it's just done a stellar job, as I say, from it. You know what I mean? He's going to be coming round for the final lap this time around. It's down on the 202s. He's going to be crossing the line round about that 30-second mark, I think, as well, Biggles, that we saw from race 1. Maybe a little bit over a minute as he comes round here as well. So it's going to be an interesting one now. Xander Reed's just got to keep it on track for the final lap of the race. And it is a job done for him. And he will take the victory here again.
Fastest lap too.
A double
Just
victory.
got the fastest lap.
Double victory for Xander Reed, just keeping it on track.
Yeah, but me, I was talking about just backing off a little bit there and just delivering the results. No, man, he's still pushing. He's still. There's plenty of time in this car. Not a problem. Very, very, yeah. The new generation of these esports drivers coming in town there, James. Absolutely amazing, the patience that they're starting to have, isn't it? The driving skills, the strategy calls. It's just making us old guys look like we have no idea what we're doing.
No, I probably don't when I get in the car, mate. Do you know what I mean? I probably don't have any clue when it comes to getting the car. Just hit the pedal and go, yeah, let's go. And that probably
yeah, we're like the opposite, aren't we? We're like the young ones now. Of you get like a an 8-year-old behind a steering wheel, and we're like, yeah, you hit the gas pedal and you just crash into a wall. That's kind of like you and me. And you get these more mature drivers in their 13s and 14s and stuff, and they just go out and go, let's just teach you guys how we do it. All right, we can put in 2 laps in a Porsche car around Silverstone like it's nothing.
Yeah,
it's like taking candy from asshole babies.
Yeah, well, we can't. So, unfortunately for them, job done for Xander Reed. Job done for pretty much everybody currently. They've just got to keep it on track. They're fairly spread out, even down with Jonathan Dekesher in 8th place there. He's got 3.5 in front, 6.5 behind. So he looks like he's going to be a shoo-in for the victory. Xander Reed is now coming down Vale and into Club and down into Club Chicane. Final time, checkered flag will be out this time around. So well done for Xander.
Oh! That was a little baby show off there for Xander Reed. He's happy. He's like, it didn't really matter if he had a spin, mate. It was 11 seconds and change down the road. This driver coming through now.
Depends on how bad the spin would have been, mate. That would have been the question. Ayden Young comes across the line in third. Michael McLeod 4th. Here comes Samuel Sprout in 5th place. And then Michael Corello comes across the line in 6th. There you see the cars on your right hand side. Jonathan Dekesher coming across, the leading AM driver. Well done to him. Carl Ribbon over the line he goes as well. So Ribbon now will be coming over the line. Adam Morrow looks like he may have caught up here. There is Adam Morrow. He's got Morera tucked up behind him. Is he going to be able to come across the line over this one? I think he is. I think it is going to be Morrow taking it there. So well done to him. And as we wait for Anthony Robertson, Matthew Wyckoff crosses the line. Gary Watson will be over the line very, very shortly. Not sure if...
And we've got to give it to Adam Smith, my friend. So the 12 machine finished in P7. He gained 11 positions. So that's a great drive, you'd have to say. Definitely the most improved driver. Most positions gained on the track there, apart from Xander Reed getting 7 positions, of course, but we already knew he had the pace.
Yeah, well, we already knew he was going to flying along quite nicely, didn't he, Xander? So he's just doing what Xander Reed does every single week. As we wait for Anthony Robertson, he's going to be coming across the line very, very shortly here. And then we will be able to bring you up the results of the feature race once more. Xander Reed is out in front by about 11 0.8 seconds over Bernardo Faria there. Ayden Young third, Michael McLeod fourth, Samuel Sproul fifth, Michael Carrillo sixth, Adam Schmidt is in seventh, Jonathan Deckisher eighth place in the AMS, Carl Ribbon ninth, Ariel Julien 10th, Adam Morrow 11th, Dan Morera 12th, Matthew Wyckoff 13th, Gary Watson 14th, Sean Mulholland 15th, Jeffrey Seabrook down 17th place there, 7 laps down, didn't finish. Young Choi, obviously we saw what happened to him, also didn't finish either. Alex Witt and Tyler Anderson and also Mikey Hownick did not take the start. So there we go, mate. That was all very, very exciting once more here from Silverstone. I believe there's a couple of people lined up there for interviews, Biggles. If you want to have a chat with Xander Reed, you can pull in Xander and have a little bit of a chat with him there as well as Xander Reed comes into the box. There we go.
Xander, well, what could you say, mate? GG's, another one, another one? Bites the dust?
I wouldn't say bites the dust. I thought I was pushing like crazy to get that one done. Bernardo was... When he joined the server, my heart rate instantly went through the roof because we all know how quick he is. But
well, you managed to get the job done there, Xander, as well. Double point score. Not a bad evening of racing, all in all there, bud, at all, really. What happened with you and Bernardo in the first race? It looked like you had a little bit of contact.
I pulled the donkey move and broke way too late for how close I was behind him, and I felt really bad after the race. So, yeah.
So you didn't fancy slowing down and letting him back through then?
Not really. I still wanted to win, but luckily he recovered back to P2 pretty quick, but I still felt really bad after.
Yeah, so there we go. Onwards and upwards. There we go. Xander, well done to you, sir, on the double victory. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go this evening?
Everybody that runs this series. It's definitely one of the best series I've ever been in. It's run very smoothly. I also like to thank my mom, dad, everybody at Qualy that helps me. Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you so much, Xander, there for joining us. And we'll look forward to maybe having a chat with you next week, sir.
Thank you. You too.
Take care. So now we're going to go and have a chat with Ayden Young, third place, of course, in the feature race this evening. So, Ayden, welcome in. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How about you?
Not bad at all, mate. Not bad at all. Very interesting even race. The feature race, the car's got a little bit more spread out across the field there as well. Did you think, though, you could hold Bernardo off long enough to maybe take that second place away?
No, I knew he was quicker, so when he did get right up to me, though, I wasn't going to make it easy for him. Like, I'm like, if you want the position, you're going to have to fight for it, Bernardo. It's like, I'm not just going to let you by just because you're running quicker. I mean, like, we're fighting for a podium here. So, like, you want to get by me, you're going to have to send it. You're going to have to make the room to get by me.
Yeah, it was a very interesting move, though, saying that. Talking about that move past it, you kind of almost looked like you left the door open for him to take the inside line away from you.
Which pass you talking about? The first or second one? Because I know he passed me twice.
The second one, the one he took when he went past you to take the position away completely.
Yeah. So the first time he had passed me through that corner, I went in on the same braking point as him, but I moved my brake bias to a position where I was comfortable going in that deep into the corner and then braking hard. And then I stayed. He kept me to the outside, but then he just he tried to keep me out of the outside, but he just blew the corner, so he went straight. So then I just cut back, and then he did the same thing for the next corner because he tried to defend the inside line, so he went straight, and then I did the same thing. So he knew I was going to try it again the very next lap since I was still close to him. Since I was ahead of him, he went to go do it again, so he knew I was going to try it again. So what he did is he kind of checked up a little bit, which made me have to check up, and then he had the position. So that's what happened there. No contact was made. It was just clean, hard racing there.
Yeah, we just watched the overtake here of the moment he got past you. As I say, we were a little bit doubting in the booth about the line. It looked like you took, and the door was kind of left open for Bernardo to run up the inside going into Luffield beforehand as well. But overall, not a bad evening of racing for you, sir. Onwards and upwards, and maybe we'll catch up with you next week as well. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
I will actually miss next week. I'll be at Road Atlanta for Formula Drift event.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time then, will we?
Yeah, but the people I would like to thank is my team, Fiercely Forward. My teammate, Beckham, for coming in here racing with me last week. He sadly couldn't make today because he's got to get up pretty early, and he has a trip to go on all that from tomorrow all the way until after Nürburgring 24. So I thank him for coming in here, agreeing to do this season with me, finish it out and try and help me get as many points possible under the Fiercely Forward team name. Then all the competitors for making it a fun atmosphere to race in. Then obviously the league admins for making this league what it is. So bravo to them. And then you guys, as always, for the fantastic commentary each and every round.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you so much for that one, Ayden. And we'll look at seeing you in about 2 weeks' time then, young sir.
Yep.
Take care.
See you in 2 weeks.
Well, there you go, Biggles. Sum it up for us this evening in a sentence before we leave.
Young guns are in town.
Well, there you go, guys. That sums it up very, very nicely. And from myself, James Parfitt, and the mighty Dean Biggles up in the booth, you all take care. Have a great week. And as always, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.